Let's begin with the easiest example. I could open a new chat and ask Copilot, is there any pull request waiting for me? And right after the tool selection, it's gonna find that there is, in fact, an MCP Server tool that is able to answer my question. And with this tool, well, right after a couple of seconds, the answer is gonna come up here. At this point, you may have probably 2 or even more questions. First of all, how did it know that there is a tool able to finding if there is any pull request waiting for me? And the second question is, me? Who? How does it know who I am? In this quick video, we're gonna see how GitHub Copilot uses MCP Server Tools step by step, because magic is cool, but magic is bad, and knowledge is your true power. Coming back to our simple example, this is the list of the MCP servers that I've got currently installed here on my Copilot instance. And for example, here you can find that there's a GitHub server that's also in the running state. From here, I can, for example, quickly check my configuration. And in fact, installing an MCP server is basically just telling the client of your LLM where the MCP server is. This is hosted on githubcopilot.com/mcp, and the client can use this tool through HTTP. So this is where the server is, but the server is exposing some tools, and if you click this icon, you're gonna see all the registered MCP servers with all the tools they're offering. And for example, here on GitHub, there should be a search pull request tool somewhere around here. This is the tool used to search for pull requests. But this is simple, as this is just the UI. The real question is, how does the language model know that there are these tools here available? The answer can be found in the spec of Model Context Protocol, where you see that as soon as the client is opened, for example, VS Code is launched and the chat is instantiated, the client is gonna ask all the registered server the list of tools, and this list is gonna be made available to the LLM, which means that the LLM has access to this list of name and description, so it knows which tool to use. But then the tool might request some inputs. For example, here, the search tool for pull request wants a query, an owner, and a repository. The tool declared that this is the input, these 3 values, and then the model decided the value to put inside the input, so that this payload gets sent to the MCP server, the server does its own logic, and this is the output coming from the server. But as you notice, this isn't the output I got straight into my chat. This is the actual answer, properly formatted with all the data, as that's another responsibility of the language model. Right after receiving the output, this is not directly answer for the user, but this is just more data, more context that is available to the model, so that with this extra piece of information, the model can finally give us exactly the answer we needed using the real data fetched from the logic inside the MCP server. But if you're curious and you also want to answer, how does the model know who I am? Well, the answer can be found rather quick here from the Output tab. You can find that the GitHub Copilot chat, as soon as get instantiated, is informed that this is my username. But more specifically, since I thought it was fun, I just asked the model, what is my GitHub username? And he answered that from the repository context, that's my username. But more specifically, where do you find it? And that's exactly the answer. Copilot chat obviously also injects into the context for the language model your username, the repository, and some other information such as the branch, and I'm sure there's even more. But this is simply, how does your language model know who you are, at least here in Copilot chat. And that was it. As I mentioned, magic is cool, but knowing how things are moving is better than just believing it's pure magic, as it gives us more control and we can better use the features that we get offered. With that said, I'm planning to do more videos similar to this one, exploring some VS Code and Copilot features, so stay tuned for the next one. Thanks for watching, I hope I answered some of your questions, and well, see you in the next one. Bye!